Hi, welcome back to Unforgotten Movement. I'm Charcy Curtis. As you see today, I have the little ones with me. Giving you a little preview of for those that just tuning in. Unforgotten. Of course, the first one I tell a little bit about myself, on to telling a little bit more of how God came about. Then I have visitors. So you may be asking, why did I choose to pick the little ones today? I just felt like it was well needed because I forgot the actual podcast is just to help someone else. So that's the reason why we are doing the podcast, hoping that you may see someone on here that you can relate to and that you can, get their story and you can say, hey, that reminds me of you. It's all about helping somebody and to understand that God is still doing miracles today as he was doing in the Bible. This is my daughter. Tell them what you got going on. Who are you?
Hey, my name is Shaylee, and I have a book, and it's called "I'm the Real Trendsetter. I Keep It 100."
Dada, tell them what you got going on.
Hi, my name is Hadasha, and I have a brand, and it's called Fanny Shades.
And Leah, tell them what you got going on.
Hi, my name is Leah. I am a praise dancer, but I also do a little bit of everything.
And when she say everything, she really can do everything. If you know her mom, you'll know why she can do everything. But anyways, basically, I just wanted to, like I said, this is once again just to help someone to understand each one of these young ladies have a different story. Like, for example, for my daughter, her dad died when she was 3. Adasia, she has her mother and her dad in her life, but both of them stay in 2 different separate households. Leah, she has her mother and her father. They stay in the same household. So basically, each child can relate to one of them. And that's what it's all about. So you can be able to find something in one child or one adult or through all the shows that you can relate to. So let's just jump right to it. Shaylee, what brought you to wanting to write your book?
Miss Tara motivated me to write my book because I was around her when she was writing her book.
So that motivated you?
Yes.
Dacia, what made you to want to come out with your Fanny Shades?
It's the whole brand is named after my grandma because her name is Fanny. And the whole reason why I started the brand is because I wanted to make a shade line for kids that had cancer because my grandma, she had cancer and she had died from cancer.
Okay.
It's not just for kids, it's for everybody.
Okay. Explain that a little bit to the people so those that don't know.
It's for kids. It's just not for kids that have cancer, it's for all the kids.
Okay. And Leah, and you with praise dance, what made you, what motivated you to want to praise dance?
The church that I went to, they had a praise dancing ministry, and I saw like most of the kids my age were on, they were doing the praise dancing, and I always was told that people have different types of praises, and I'm not the type of person who's gonna, I'm not gonna get up and start, shouting and screaming because that's not my praise.
That's
and
fine.
I got, I figured out that dancing was my version of praise.
That's good to know. So let's go back around the circle again. So Shaylee, what's one of the reasons why you liked, when you go to your closet or your drawer and you think about, what to wear today, why do you pick to wear your Unforgotten shirt?
Yeah, I wear my Unforgotten shirt because when I want to have a good day. Yeah.
When you have a good day, what?
When I want to have a good day.
That's when you wear your Unforgotten shirt because you basically saying you're going to have a good day when you wear your shirt? Dada?
I wear my Unforgotten shirt because I know that I am for God and that I'm in God's protection and that he will keep me safe.
Leah, the reason you wear your Unforgotten shirt? Because she wear hers a whole lot. Like, I gotta give it to her. Like, she literally, even though this is my child, she wears it faithfully. So why do you wear your Unforgotten shirt?
I wear my Unforgotten shirt just so people know that I'm not embarrassed of what I believe in and to have a reminder known that I'm for God and not for the world.
That's good answer. I'm so flattered. Anyways, so with that being said, in the next question, what is there something that you would like to share with your peers that you would, like to let them know? Because keep in mind, all these young ladies have their own personal relationship with God. So, matter of fact, before we answer that question, what was your first encounter knowing when God was real?
When I was at my uncle's funeral, how my mom did not cry, and she kept talking about God, God, God.
So that's when you know he was real.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt, like nobody can't tell you nothing different.
Yeah.
Y'all would have to know the story behind that. My brother passed away, and when I say God let me know 2 months prior and warned me, he literally did that. And I remember telling God when my brother told me that, you know, his lungs were shrinking, I had told God, you know, if any of this is true, you got to numb me, fill me up with the Holy Ghost, because I don't know how I'm going to be that day, because you taking my brother that I was raised up with. And when I say God did just that, he did just that. I could not cry. I mean, I felt like my brother was in a different place, like he stayed somewhere else. I didn't see it as he was dead. And it just he really numbed me. So, you know, when you tell God to numb you, just understand that's exactly what he did to me that day. And I remember trying to cry, and he was like, the Spirit said, you told me to numb you. Do you know what numb is? And I'm like, yeah, but, you know, this is crazy because my brother just died, and I'm trying to figure out why I'm not crying. He said, do you not know where he's at? Do you not believe that he's okay? So that whole story is just like a whole another level. So just to know that my daughter, that's the day that she actually realized God was real. That means a whole lot. Adasia, when was your first time really realizing that God was real without a shadow of a doubt?
Well, when my grandma passed away, I was looking in her casket, and I saw she was smiling, and I know where she was, and I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, wow. So I'm like, it made me feel good, you know. I'm like, wow.
So that means obviously she had a strong relationship with God, right? Okay. Leah, what is your first time you encounter that you really realized and knew God was, without a shadow of a doubt, he was real?
I went through this time of being really, really sad. And I felt like I was alone because my parents were working on a project, and so they were gone a lot. And then I couldn't go to my sister because that just wasn't our type of thing that we talked about to each other. And so it kind of felt like I was alone. And so I tried reaching out to people that I knew, but they didn't really know how to help. And so I started going to bad options, you know, like cutting my arm and other things. And then one Youth Friday, there was a guest speaker, and she prayed for me. And it just felt like there was a difference, like there was a weight lifted off my shoulder. And ever since that day, I can say that things started actually getting better, and I knew that I wasn't alone.
Yeah, that meant God actually answered your prayer. He's seen the pain, and you actually reached out, and he is a father that's always available at any time, and he lifted that hurt and that, you know, loneliness away, because he's available at any time. Like he's that father that if you don't have a father, he is available to all, little boys and little girls and adults. So you're never alone, and it's okay. You know, it's not about, you know, as far as trying to pick and choose or what's right or wrong. Different is always good. Like I tell people, you know, to fit in is not good. That's not cool. You need to find out who you are, what you like to do, besides going with somebody else. And with that being said, you know, God will put that comfort in you to know that I'm there at any time, and he'll warm your heart and let you know. And it's nothing like, I know when you got that uplifted, that spirit lifted off of you, you have felt free, right or wrong. So it's a heavy feeling that you get whenever the devil's trying to persuade you or have you feel a certain way. So, but when you understand who God is and how God works, it's nothing else that can tell you anything different. Going to the next person, Shaylee, if it's something that you could tell your peers about, you know, something you could tell them to uplift them or tell them what they should do, can you share that?
Don't let people bully you, and just ignore them, and just walk away from it and let God handle it.
Dada, if it's something you could tell your peers, what would you tell them?
If you're shy, don't be, because if you're shy forever, then you'll never know what God could do, because he could open up doors for you. And then if you're shy, then nobody will never know who you really are as a person, because then you could just be a whole different type of person when you're shy. But then when you're really you, you could be a whole different person. You're whole new, and you feel fresh.
Because God gives you a different mindset, right? He makes you understand that what was old is now new, and you can let it go. And you can rest assured in him. And like I said before, this show is basically just to share a little bit about each young lady. And I'm going to go to Leah. Leah, what is there something that you would like to tell your peers is something that they need to know out there?
I feel like my peers, they need to know that there's no book written on what's cool and what's not.
Right, that's so true.
And you living for God is not going to make you any less cooler than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And that you gotta know that you're never going to fit in, because God didn't make you to fit in. He made you to stand out.
Right.
And so I just feel like y'all should know that you, like, if there's nobody in this world that likes you, God loves you.
Yeah. And he's always available at any time, right? So now you have a definitely different understanding of certain things, right? So people understand, like, she definitely, what she told you is not for you to bash her, it's not for you to judge her or anything like that. We all have stories. And I brought these young ladies on here to congratulate them, to be their first big cheerleaders, and let them know that I'm proud of each and last one of them. Because at the end of the day, we have to have that. Because when I was their age, I didn't have that person to tell me what was wrong, what was right. I learned, my first encounter with God was aged by like 17. And look, like, you got 10, she's 10, she's 11, she's 13. So for them to have a relationship with God, that means a lot. And we got to let them know that you're on the right path. Because, at the end of the day, if I bring them back on the show, who's to say 5 or 10 years from now, I would love to know what their input is. Because it's going to change. We all go through things. Ain't nothing perfect. It's okay to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. But just make sure you are sure and you're true to yourself. Don't try to fit in. And that's why when my daughter came to me to tell me she wanted to write a book for being around Miss Tara, which is Leah's mom, and keep in mind, Dada is Miss Brain at the time. So, but to hear my child say, because I ain't wrote no book, but to hear her say that she wanted to write a book, that was like, okay, you didn't get that from me, But it was a side of me that had to say, but you got to understand, she had to find her own way. So when I did that, it was just like a whole set of her open up that I didn't know about. But at the same time, I had to let her figure out things herself. So it was a lightning to me. And at the same time, I want to let these kids know that I'm their biggest cheerleader. If nobody else ain't told you they proud of you, I'm proud of each and last one of y'all. Don't let nobody tell y'all nothing different. And I wish I had the push that they got, and this goes for any kid. Anything you put your mind to, you can do it. And if you know somebody that a child that you can see their gift, or just let them open up and see what it is they like before you tell them no. Because keep in mind, I have different outlooks of what I may want her to be, and she'll tell you. She, as you see, she wrote a book. I was like doctor, lawyer, But at the same time, that's not what she want to do. So I had to let her know that it's okay. And to look in the eye, after I read it, it was like, oh God, this is my child, But it's not. I'm not just saying it, just be saying it. Her book is really like one of them gotta have. It's a positive book. It's all it is we did the activities and the games in the book, and all it is teaching kids how to pray, how to go find a favorite scriptures in the Bible, and stuff like that. And it just gives you she just gives you a rundown of her life story or whatever. Dada, the same thing like she told you with far as her Shades brand. She got motivated by her grandmother, and as the ray of the sun, and cancer that you can't, it hurts the eyes or whatever. Leah with praise dancing, that's her way of showing her, love for God and etc. But we got to encourage these kids nowadays. So that was the reason why I allowed them to come on my platform and share with y'all the outlook of how these kids are thinking. We got to talk to them. We got to do vision boards with them and see what's on their minds. We got to do better as parents, and I got to do better too. And each one of y'all know y'all can talk to me about anything. I'm that person. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I keep it real, because I feel like if you don't, you have that social media is going to keep it real for you. So why not let them know what it is? I thank each and last one of y'all, and I love each one of y'all. And guess what, y'all? You have to tune in for next time. I guess we'll be rounding it up. But too, I will be getting with y'all to let y'all know about the Unforgotten. I am working on the website. I promise you. We will definitely be letting you know how to get your shirts and how to tune in and how you can tune in and get on this show and share your story and how good God is and how God is doing the miracles today. And it's all about Him. It ain't about us. We just vessels. And to then, see you next time. Thank you again for tuning in.